Hi, welcome to an episode of Newly Listed. I'm your host, Barrington Miller, Director of Issuer Engagement at the Canadian Securities Exchange. And today I'm here with Jody Aufrichtig, CEO and one of the founders of Psyence. Welcome to the show, Jody.
Good morning, Barrington. Fantastic to be here and very proud to be part of the CSE.
Jody, where are you right now?
Well, I'm calling you from Cape Town in South Africa. Of course, we're a global company, but right now I'm sitting in Southern Africa on a beautiful, warm, sunny day.
Tell us a little bit about Psyence and what you do.
Yeah, well, I guess we're a listed company. So first and foremost, we're creating value and wealth for our shareholders. But we're also making a big impact on mental health and well-being. And that is using natural psychedelic medicine. And how we're doing that is, well, we're a life sciences company. We have a federal psilocybin cultivation license. We're operational. We're global. We have resources in Toronto, resources in Jamaica, in the UK, Australia, and South Africa. And what we're really doing is pioneering the use of natural psilocybin. And this is where we differ to many of our peers. We don't work with synthetics. And we use natural psilocybin for the long-term treatment of trauma and the mental health consequences of trauma.
Thank you for that, Jody. Now, why did you go public?
Well, I think it was very important to us as a company that we had a strong regulatory environment. Regulations give our industry credibility. We embrace regulations. I think it improves and adds to the integrity of our industry. Regulations are our friend, as I always tell our team. So that was quite important to us. Of course, being public gives liquidity to our investors. My view, they're not investors, we're just custodians of their funds. But access to capital markets will also enable us to grow our business. And being public brings attention. And of course, bringing attention brings energy to our company. And that will help build our business.
Jody, and just talking with you briefly off camera and also on camera, you yourself possess a lot of energy. And I'm sure that trickles on to your team. Can you tell us a little bit about the team that is either with you now or helped you get to this stage?
Sure. We have a fantastic team, a very, very strong team. Myself, I'm a chartered accountant, ex-Ernst & Young, and I've built many businesses over the last 25 years. But I think, and I believe what's relevant is my cannabis journey. So I was a recipient of one of the first cannabis licenses in Africa. And in May of 2018, I sold that operation to Canopy Growth. And for 2 years, I took up the reins as managing director for Africa for Canopy Growth, where I headed up their operations. I built their facility, their production, their brands, their value, and their revenue streams. And then in April of 2020, I led a management buyout. And a lot of people have said, how have you come so far so quickly? Well, we've actually been doing this for about 3 years now, but because it's part of that business that we bought back that morphed into Psyence. So we had a big head start. We had the whole ex-Canopy Africa team, massive head start, a team with mycologists, microbiologists, pharmacists, legal, commercial, branding, the full management team were in place. So that really gave us a big push to get to where we are today.
There's a lot of energy, noise, and news in and around the space. What would you say is your differentiator between you and other companies in this area?
Sure, there's a lot of noise at the moment in this space, but really what differentiates us is we have a commercial federal psilocybin license. We designed the facility, we built the facility, we've imported genetics, so we're fully operational. And we're currently producing psilocybin mushrooms, both in the mushroom format and in the truffle format. So that, I guess, would be the first differentiating factor, is we are up and running and we're federally licensed. We're also a global company, as I mentioned earlier, with the focus on natural products. But most importantly, we have a very strong path to revenue and value creation for our shareholders. And that is through a number of channels, supplying GMP certified psilocybin worldwide to legalized clinics and institutions conducting clinical research. Of course, we have a very strong medical team as well, led by Dr. Amza, a neurologist, and Dr. Grant, who has a PhD in pharmaceutical science, and Dr. Dingle Spence, who's a clinical oncologist. So we're also using our product for our own clinical research. In addition, we're developing a standardized microdose, and we're developing the gold standard. and developing a lot of IP around dosage and delivery, both for our own product or for white labeling. In addition, we have another revenue stream. Q2 this year, we're launching a functional mushroom product, which is a proprietary blend, and that will be in store in South Africa, followed by Europe in Q2 of this year. And we also have a clinic license pending. So I guess a big differentiating factor is we have 4 distinct paths to revenue.
Sort of last but not least, what do current investors and soon-to-be investors have to look forward to as far as milestones with Psyence?
Sure, lots of exciting news coming. In the next couple of months, there's going to be news around our first exports, both to Toronto, to the UK, to Jamaica. There'll be some interesting news about a joint venture with a number of clinics that we're working on. Some news around the scaling up of our production. Our production facility we have built can absolutely service a global market. So we'll be scaling that up to meet market demand. Q2 of this year, there'll be news around our functional mushroom launch. There was some news 2-3 days ago about the commencement of some observational studies, but there'll be some very interesting news around the commencement of our clinical trials and our microdose product development.
What's your end game? What is Psyence's end game? What's the goal that you want this company to do?
I thought long and hard about this, and we certainly are here to create shareholder wealth and growth for our shareholders and value. But at the end of the day, if I can give a little girl or a little boy, a mom or their dad who's alive by virtue of the work that we've done in treating their mental health, then I've achieved my objective.
Well, Jody, on behalf of the Canadian Securities Exchange, we wish you nothing but continued success, future growth, and we want to thank you for taking the time to speak with us and also for your listing. For our listeners, it is spelled PSY, not SCI. So check them out on the Canadian Securities Exchange. I've been your host, Barrington Miller, and this has been an episode of Newly Listed.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for tuning in to another Newly Listed on the CSE. Please feel free to hit like and share this content and hit subscribe if you haven't already.